And welcome to the use cases. We will take some use cases that we've actually used within this operation in the last 6 months before we go into the demo series. It's pretty important. So we've highlighted 6 of them, 6 pertinent ones, and we will start with with the first one there being we've used DIST to actually reflect revenue generation with third parties. Systems that were actually residing within MTN Nigeria, that were not residing within the MTN Benin territory. And this system has been able to, this system as also platform, sorry, was able to show reconciliation and feasibility of such revenues. And this was really welcomed by marketing because without having that visibility, it was just information from one source. And so this gives them the confidence to really work with those third-party vendors in Nigeria. And I would show you exactly. Fine. This is the dashboard, which is real time, and it's based on counters. And the counters are relative to the revenue generated. And as you can see, so as the Huawei SDPs actually hit the system, the CCN systems on SCAP V1, I guess they'll be changing to SCAP V2 soon. We were able to track how many times they hit the system. So with this trend, they can use that ratio in calculating revenue in reconciling the revenue from those as submitted during the revenue sharing month. So it's a pretty good tool for this. Also, we can see, well, these are another part of it. You can see them individually in terms of request and successful. They are always successful, so it's a pretty good system. We could take, this is the last 4 hours, we could take the last 60 days, or if we got data up to 60 days. Okay, it's just about, it's about loading. And we can see there are just 2 CCNs that are involved in these transactions. So, pretty good. Sorry, it's trying to expand. Fine, great, and it's been quite regular, except for these days. So they should expect revenues to probably drop here on these days, which is on a Friday. Okay, so we move into another use case, which was also been really very which has really been very good using this tool. It's the finance revenue assurance, and there were periods where we've had CRS delayed CRS processing, and the correlation of the counters and revenue, the actual revenue, was kind of used for good interpolation of revenue for the business systems. So your business system could be down for some reason. It could be for maintenance reason. But the revenue assurance, the operations team can have an idea of the exact amount of revenue that could have taken place. Could have been generated within that period. And I will show you the convincing dashboard or graph for that. Yep, this is it. As you can see, we actually we did take an experiment for a particular month, and I think that was a month that was affected. Yes. And these are counters from the CCN. As you can see the trend, and these are the actual revenues as calculated from the CRS. You see they have the same pattern. Well, specifically this was for data, GY traffic. You see they have the same trend. And what we also did to bridge the gap, because yes, some might just so that I can help everyone, because there are multiple transactions per actual before the transaction, the amounts are actually charged. So what we did was to divide the counters by the revenue, and we got this almost constant, this constant straight line, and these actually reflects that the revenue being reported from CRS is exactly as expected by the system's operations. In order to, we will just take one more of this, and we would, yes, and this is pretty important as well in terms of prepaid managerial daily services and operations. The IM manager actually has been able to use this to have a very strategic view of his operations and the business service performance of his system. It has reduced him from having to wait for engineers to give him about 2 hours report daily to actually having a self-service 2 minutes view of it. And it's been really fantastic. I'm going to take you through that dashboard he's been using. You will see a lot of that in the demo. You can see that all he needs to see is, okay, this is today, and he can see the same, well, about the same pattern in the last 4 or 5 days. He already knows something. Something could have been wrong here, and he could zoom in to find out and start asking his engineers just to find out what must have happened. Yes, it was maybe a little bit of stuff here, which is probably different from the other days. So these has helped me without even having to consult his engineers, know exactly what's going on, and it was even less than a minute actually. So that's one of the very fantastic benefits and the use case of this tool within this operation. We just have to take you through some of the other ones. The rapid system planning and capacity dimensioning. Basically, we could just take a dump of the system, just like this. Sorry, and we can just download it if we wanted, either the ROS format or the formatted, and voila, you can actually have that exported and used up in your planning tools. Okay, so other things are identified and used for designing new products. Yes, we're still in talks with that. So because of the time, I can go on with this. And to maintain SLA we've used it to actually checkmate against the KPIs. Are we doing well? Are we doing above or below the KPIs? So pretty good stuff, and we hope to have more use cases in subsequent months. Thank you. Now let's go into the demo series.